I ever played with. One of my first big tours, man. It was about 10 years ago. 10 shows, 10 nights. Playing Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Carrboro, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia. Back to Birmingham for some reason, a night off in a weird bar. And then we went down to New Orleans and finally Lake Charles, Louisiana. It was a whip-ass time. Shit, I guess I was 23 years old. 24 maybe. Anyhow, we had this drummer, his name was Far Out. Not even kidding. He's from Des Arc, Arkansas. That's eastern Arkansas. Anyhow, Far Out showed up at my apartment. We were loading out for the tour, and his eyes were all crazy and yellow looking. So I gave him some eye drops, clear eyes. And we got on the road, and before we got to the Mississippi River, I looked over and I saw his eyes, and they were still yellow all over. Anyhow, we played our show in Jackson that night and passed out on a friend's floor. Peeled ourselves up off the floor in the morning, piled into our little old van, a 93 Dodge Ram. Anyhow, Far Out was the last one to show, you see. The last one to come out of that little old apartment complex and into that bright January Mississippi sunlight. And when he did, he was all yellow. And I mean yellow all over. Yellow like a school bus in America. Yellow like those little pencils we used to take our tests with in high school. Sorry. This song's about jaundice. And I don't mean to make a joke out of jaundice, it's a serious condition. I just mean if your friend's drinking a pint of whiskey for breakfast every morning, you might ought to say, hey man, just hit this joint. Here's a glass of water. You might save his life. And say, hey man, so you had a hard time saying no to the good times. And now you're stuck in your own ways once again. Well, there were times I was least impressed, and those were the days you were most a mess. And I heard all the reason that you were out of line. You had a hard time saying no to the good times. Oh, buddy, come down from your high places and smell the roses for a while. Good days are getting harder to come by. Now you wonder why your lonely heart keeps beating, but you may know why there's nothing in your wind. You've been caught up in the throes of all sorts of false heroes, and I can't help but be perturbed with it all the while. And now you pay the victim of the crime. Oh, buddy, come down from your high places and smell the roses for a while. Good days are getting harder to come by. I say good days are getting harder to come by.